Hi you guys! I asked you on Facebook whether you wanted me to share with you all how I planned the last 4 months of the year, and you said yes, so this video is for you all. So if you set up a 2016 resolution list at the beginning of the year, by this time of the year you should be asking yourself a few questions. For example, where am I? What am I doing? Am I on the right track? Have I achieved some of the goals or not? What are the remaining goals that I still need to work on, etc. So this period of time is really the perfect one for you all to start doing sort of a self-assessment on of you and what you've achieved and what still remains to be achieved this year. So what I'm suggesting in this video is a sort of plan to really make the most out of this 3.5 months left. It's really strategic planning, it's a very actionable, it's something that you should look at every day to get ahead and keep on progressing. So what I'm using in this video is an Excel sheet. This is how I find it practical to me because I have the document open all the time on my computer. I can easily make the changes and then highlight what needs to be highlighted, etc. But you guys feel free to use whatever tool makes you comfortable. It could be a notebook. If you like to handwrite things, you can even use different colors, crayons, add photos to your notebook to make it a little bit more attractive and beautiful. You'll see that my Excel sheet is not really attractive, but at least it does the job for me and helps me keep on achieving things and getting ahead. Alright, so without any further ado, let's show you how I plan the last 4 months of the year. So if you see here on the bottom left, it says objectives. So that's the first sheet that you need to work on. So basically you need to ask yourself, what are your goals for the next 4 months? What is it that you're trying to achieve? What is it that you want to achieve by the end of the year? Ask yourself these questions. You will come up with answers. These answers, break them down into sections. Like you see here, I have work, business, health, house, and other. So, and then you can add on the column B the specific goal that you have. Remember, it's not a task, it's goals. Goals, medium term goal that you want to achieve by the end of the year. Take a look at the list I have here. It's just examples. Say, for example, in the work section, I have recruit someone to help me with my daily activity. This is because in the next few months I won't be very much available and I need someone who can help me with attending the meetings when I can't attend the meetings or following up with customers and clients. So that's a goal that I have and I would like to achieve by the end of the year. And again, here I separated work from business because I tend to think that work is what I do on a daily basis versus business. It's more strategic and development decisions. Also, I have house, and house includes also taking care of my family. Health includes fitness and well-being, and then all the other projects that I may have. I also have creating more YouTube videos and blogging more, and also learning more about my camera, which I've had for so long, but I always use the same basic settings. And yeah, so this I definitely need to work on and find some time to learn more about photography and filming to make the videos look a little bit more interesting. So your categories could be anything that you're working on at the moment. If you're still at university or college, then you would write university, college. In the other section, it would depend on your family situation, on your professional situation. So just write down the sections that are important to you at the moment and then break them down into goals, objectives. Remember, they're medium-term goals. They're not long-term goals. So think about, you only have 3 months and a half to make things happen. So you're not um, stressing yourself out with bigger goals. Just think medium term goals. So you get the idea. You list the area that you want to improve on in your life and then the objectives that come with it, and objectives that's medium term objectives. All right, moving on to the next sheet, and this is probably the most important one because it's very detailed. So in the planning section, you would just reproduce the same categories that you created in the objective section, and then list all the tasks that you have to do in that area. So everything, it must be really detailed. Then you create another column for who, what, and then the percentage completed, who you can ask help from, the deadline, and status. So make sure to fill in as much information as possible. The task needs to really be detailed. Then who, what is really like, for example, I put in some things that I need to get from IKEA. So I see IKEA. So the day I want to go to IKEA, I can just easily find all the things that I need to buy from them. So it really makes my job easier. And then who should I ask help from? So it's really natural to be asking for help. So just put in the name of the person or the name of the company that you're going to be asking help from. Definitely percentage completed, so that would help you stimulate and get motivated. The deadline, always. So in the next sheet, it's things to buy. It's good to keep track of all the things that you need or that you want, so that by the end of the year, you know exactly how much money you've spent on those things and was it really worth it. And by writing them down, you think twice or sometimes more than twice about the purchase, and it gets a little bit more real. So this is the format that I'm suggesting: what, why, when, from, the price, and did you end up purchasing the item. You can also add other information like reviews or your opinion or any links that you may want. But this is pretty much the idea about keeping track of your purchases. I think it's a good way of managing your money, and it's a good way of you can actually add another section now that I'm thinking about it. If it's for you or if it's for someone else, so definitely add this section. It would help. And then in 4 months time, you will know exactly what you bought and if it was worth it, and how much money you spent on it, and if there are other things that you may need. So just like things to buy, I have things to donate or to give away. So in this sheet, I have created what, why, when, to whom, approximately value, and has it been done. So this way I'm like actually keeping track of all the donations that I'm giving, because sometimes I give an object and I actually forget that I have given it, and I'll be looking for it in the closet or in the kitchen. So this way I'm keeping track of all the donations, and at the same time it does motivate me to give more, because you're like, okay, I've only given 2 things in the past 6 months. That's horrible. And it's a good way also to declutter, and then just appreciate what you have rather than just keeping hold of things that you never ever use. So I think this sheet is very important as well. It will help you get organized and also think about others. It doesn't always have to be the needy, but it could be your brother or your sister or whoever. Okay, well, this sheet is probably one of my favorites. I have a list here. I'm only starting to write the list, but basically the idea is to put a list of all the books that you would like to read throughout this trimester. If you're into movies, you can also add movies that you'd like to watch. I'm putting just books because this is what I do. This is what I love. You can put the author, the language. That way you can diversify your languages, and then if you have read it at the end or not. I think it's a good way of motivating yourself into reading more or watching interesting, I'll just say interesting, interesting movies. But this way you would know, like say, for example, next time you go to the bookshop, then you say, hey, well, this is the opportunity for me to get that book that's on my list. So you get things done and you move in pretty quickly. This next sheet is probably one of the most interesting ones because it's time for you to decide what are the new habits that you'd like to acquire and probably what are the habits that you'd like to get rid of. So think about what is it that you want to install in your life. I hear people say a lot of times, I wish I could do this, I wish I could do that. Well, I don't have time. So maybe it's decision time for you. Is it going to the gym after work? Are you struggling to do that? So maybe you could write it and make it a plan. How are you going to do it? When are you going to start? And how it's going to help you in your daily life. So always try to motivate your mind and brain because that's what I mean. We're struggling against ourselves, but make sure to write down all the good habits that you'd like to acquire, probably how you can get rid of the old ones. It's a tough one, really. It's a tough one, but I think it's so much worth doing it because it will. If you want to see change, change happens with decision and also planning. So this sheet will help you plan things and help you see things a little bit clearer and have a vision for them. And always I stress on the how it's going to help you because you need to motivate yourself. You need to make sure there is a reason why you want to do that things. For example, if you want to get healthy, why do you want to get healthy? Is it just because it's a buzzword on the internet at the moment, or is it because you really need it to feel better, to play with your kids, or to be able to take the stairs easily, etc. Alright guys, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know what is the biggest challenge or the biggest objective that you have for the next 3.5 months. That would be really interesting to share. I will actually make the document downloadable online. I still need to figure out how to do it, but it shouldn't be too complicated. Otherwise, feel free to reproduce the sections and the categories into a new Excel document. Please like and share and comment the video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and we'll stay in touch. Bye bye.